Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a little green smoky eye for the holiday that's coming up, which is St. Patrick's Day. If you're new, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jackieschwab, and if you're returning, well, thanks for joining me. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so I already went ahead and I already did my brows. I'm going to go in with the No Pore Blem Primer by Touch and Soul. This is a smooth and pore covering top secret for perfect makeup. I've used this like 1 or 2 times and I like it. Smells fresh, florally. It's not too tacky. It does feel very smooth. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and let that just soak into our pores. Now today I'm going to be mixing 2 different foundations. I'm going to be using the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and this is in shade 4 and this is in medium 1.5. So what I'm going to do is just take a little, these are little candle dishes. You can get them at the Dollar Tree 99-cent store. And I like to just mix both of the foundations. If you haven't done this yet, I suggest trying it out. Just with the different foundations you get, sometimes you don't get the right color. Sometimes you're either too light, too dark, and sometimes it's easy to just mix them up because then you create your own little formula and you can have it match your skin. As you can see, I just went ahead and I just doodled it together. I'm going to take this is just like a Morphe brush and just blend it in. Is anybody else struggling with the time change of spring forward? You guys, like, I just cannot wake up. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed even earlier than I did before, and I'm still tired as hell. I love these 2 mixed together. I don't know what it is, but it looks nice. It just kind of matches my skin just the way I like. Now, like I've said before, I like to use a brush, and then I also will go in after to use a beauty blender to kind of just any brush strokes or any like lines that are just looking harsh. I like to take the beauty blender and kind of just blend that bad boy out. I do get my beauty blender damp. You just put it under the sink, wring it out, and it looks like it gets a little bit bigger. It's like fluffier, but it helps just to press it into the skin. And we be looking right. Oh, okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyelids, and I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion Ridge. Now again, you don't need an eyeshadow primer. You can use concealer, or if you just take your foundation and just go over your eyelids, that will work as well. I do like using this sometimes because it will keep your eyeshadow in place for a good amount of time and the color doesn't fade. So I just like to kind of windshield wipe that on my lids, and then I'll just take my I'll take my finger and just blend it out all over. Alright, so the shade that I'm going to go in with is actually from the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I'm going to go in with the Rollin in dough where it looks super white on here, but it's actually like a tan, light tan. I'm just going in with a Farrah brush and make sure that you tap off the excess or it will have fallout. So the next shade that I am going to go in with is by the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill palette, and this one is the Armed and Gorgeous. You can see the colors. There we go. You see the colors. I'm going to go in first with this shade, which is called Agent. Okay, and when you do this, you want to kind of lift your brow space, and you can tilt your head a little bit so you can see right where your crease of your eye is. And when you lift your brow, it just gives you more room so that you are not creasing and it's not just setting in any areas. So you want to go in with a light hand and just go slowly to build it up. So I like to start at the end corner and just kind of work my way in. Now if you hold your brush lower like I am, it gives you more control over your brush so that you are able to go in lightly. And I don't want to go too far in because I'm trying to make the outer part of my eye look more dramatic. So I just kind of like to tap in there, little windshield wiper strokes, and just kind of blend it. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the other eye. And these are good transition shades that you are able to work in with a darker color, because once you go dark, it is hard to blend, I would say. So if you're using a transition, God, why is it so hard? Transition shade, it'll help to blend the colors. Right, now that I have that done, I'm going to take a Luxie 239 Precision Shader Brush, and now I'm going to go back in and go in with the dark green, which is called Top Secret. It's kind of perfect with the camo I got going on. Secret Agent. With dark colors, you always want to make sure that you tap it off, because if not, it's going to fall all right here and get all hot mess. You don't want that. Remember to go in lightly with a dark color. Lift that lid. So once you've kind of define your crease, then you can go in and just kind of pat that color where you want it. And I want it on like the outer part of my eye. And just with darker colors, you don't want to rush through it because it will look like a mess. Just be patient and remember blending is key. Okay, so I kind of like how that one's looking. I'm going to go in and do the other eye. And say you mess up and there's just too much green or there's too much dark color, you can always go back in with the brush that you started with your transition shade and just go ahead and blend it through with that color that you used first. It'll kind of help blend it, settle it, make it nice. Okay, so I'm actually going back in with that first shade I used, which was Agent, and just kind of going in and just making sure it's all blended. Okay, so I have the green going, you can see. Alright, so now I'm just going in with an e.l.f. blending eye brush. And this one I'm going to dip back into the Too Faced Gold palette and I'm going to go into the shade Moneybags. So this is just darkening up the green that I did, and then it's just kind of has like more of a shimmer in it. So I'm trying to make it look more glam. Alrighty, and I'm going back in with my foundation brush and I'm just sweeping under just to make sure if there is any fallout. I'm just trying to take it off with the foundation brush. Alright, so the next color that I'm going to go in with is I'm actually going to go back in with that Agent shade with the blending brush that I used. And I'm just going to lightly coat over right by the middle of the lid, I guess. Almost in the center. Almost. Okay, this one's hard because I want to do a gold, but I want it to be... Okay, so next I'm going to go in with the shade Coin, which is a nice gold. I think it's appropriate for the holiday with leprechauns and gold coins, you know. Trying to be festive here, people. So Coin I'm going to pop in the center of my lid. And the brush that I'm using, this is just like a large shadow brush. And with shimmer or glittery kind of eyeshadows, you can also use your finger, which sometimes works better to get that real pop of color. See the difference? With the finger, no finger. And if it's looking crazy, don't worry because you're going to blend out and it's going to look nice. Okay, now I'm going back in with the brush I used for the transition shade, and I'm just going to dip a little in there and then kind of just go back at the top where I was, and then we're going to just kind of blend all together, kind of just working it, making sure there's no harsh lines. You could also use just a regular clean blending brush to do this step. It's all in your preference. Okay, again, taking my foundation brush just to make sure there's no excess or fallout. And the mascara that I'm going to be using today is the Too Faced Better Than Sex, one of my favorites. And after I do the first coat, sometimes I like to wait a few minutes, let it kind of dry, and then I'll go back in for another coat, and we'll get back. I'm not a big fake eyelashes girl. I love them. They make your eyes look amazing. I just don't have the patience for that. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smoke out my bottom lash line. So I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Hill and that agent color, that orangey agent color. I'm going to first just smoke out underneath my lash line. And it's going to connect to where that is, that eyeshadow. Okay, so now I'm going in with Money Bags from the Too Faced Gold Palette using the blending eye brush. I'm going to just lightly start on the outer corner and then bring it towards the middle. Alright, so I'm going back in with that large shader brush. I'm going to dip back into the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette in the shade Coin, which is the shade right here. And I'm just going to lightly press it on my inner corner bottom lid. And get that inner corner pop. Okay, now I'm going back in with the mascara. I'm going to do my bottom lashes. So our eyes are done for the most part. We have a nice green gold sparkle. I'm feeling ready for the holiday. This is perfect for, you know, if you're going bar hopping, if you're going to family's house, however you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, if you do. Just fun little, hey, I feel like getting ready and going out on the holiday. And I just, you know, hey, pot of gold on my eyes. I'm going to do bronzer, which I'm going to be using the Hanalei matte bronzer that I pretty much always use. The brush I'm using is called Cala, C-A-L-A, I think that's how you say it. And this brush is kind of perfect because it has a nice kind of form to your face. I got this at, I think, Marshall's or TJ Maxx. This light is doing me dirty. Okay, and then I'm taking this and just kind of tracing along my face. So one of the steps I forgot is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. Thankfully, I'm going to take this with a, hey, thankfully I don't have too many bags today, which is very unlikely. So I'm going to take today as a good day. Now I don't want to get too high because I've already done my eyeshadow. Okay, then I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D translucent powder. Ooh, spilled everywhere. And I'm just going to brush that to set the eyes. Oh my gosh, looks like it's snowing. It was snowing here in Vegas a few weeks ago, and I was all about it. All about it. I felt like it was Christmas morning. Coming from California, Southern California, you don't see snow. So when it happened here, I was like, it's Christmas! Like, that's how I really felt. But we got a good, like, 9 inches of snow, I think it was. And for me, that's like Christmas morning. If you live where the snow is and you are tired of the snow, sorry, but I was loving it. Okay, and I'm just kind of going back in with the bronzer since I was kind of going out of step with what I was doing, and just making sure we look like we have some color in our face. Okay, the lip that I'm doing today, I'm using an LA Girl pencil, and this is in the shade Flush. Ready? And then the lip that I'm using is called My Girl by Dose of Colors. Alrighty, so the blush that I'm using today is by Tifle Cosmetics. It's called Raspberry Ripple, and if I can open it. So this has 3 different shades, you can't really see, but it's light pink, a bronzy color, and then a brighter color. I like to go in with all 3. This is one of my favorite blushes. Just to add some color to your face. Alrighty, and then I'm going to be using, it's pretty Vulgar, Shimmering Swan highlighter. I have not yet used this, so let's see how it works. It's very pretty. Alright, let's see. Alrighty, well that is it for the tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see more of me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. And if you liked this video and you would like something more like this, don't forget to give me a like so I know what you want. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like what you see. I do. I think it's pretty. I think it's perfect for the March occasion of St. Patrick's Day. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.